Welcome back to part 2 of me ranking all 72 mangas on my TBR list. It is on a 5-tier system, and if you want to know more about that system, go to part 1. This is going to be a whistle-stop tour, so just the manga title and a brief reason why it's in that tier. Obviously, I haven't read any of these mangas, so I might get the plot wrong. I really don't know much about all of them. I'm just going to get right back into it. Right, this next one, I don't know whether it's ReLIFE or ReLIFE. But this is highly recommended, but I'm promoting it to most anticipated because it sounds very good, but I have some questions. It's about this guy who's 27 and he joins like this research group or something where he takes a pill and it makes him 17 again, and he's tasked to go back to high school and live high school but with the experiences of adulthood to see how it can change his like perspective and school life. But I just need to know if he gets in a romantic relationship with anyone, because obviously this guy is 27 everyone around him 17. Other than that situation, I can't wait to read this. SA Special A, I'm curious. This is another like elite school situationship, and I think it's a romance comedy where a competitive relationship turns romantic. Sakura Sakura, this is low priority. It's like a typical school life, but it's about a year where the birth rate is really low. So it's called The Last Gen. And this boy, he's 15 years old or something, and he's going to school, and it's the first time he's ever interacting with anyone his own age. And it's about his experience in school. Sounds good, but yeah, it's low on the list. Whereas this one, Shortcake Cake, I'm unhinged excited. I already think this manga is going to be elite. Don't know why, I've just got a feeling. And I don't see many people talking about this manga. I think it's just going to be something that I'm going to love because I am that shoujo romance school life girly. I am. That is the main B for me. It's about this girl who moves into this boarding house which is close to her school because she has to travel hours to get to school usually. But what I have heard is that the art style is meant to be phenomenal, and I'm a sucker for that. I am a sucker for it. Skip Beat, this has been highly recommended. It just follows this girl who is a star. Like, I don't know what she does, whether she's a singer, model, actor, whatnot, but it follows her life and multiple romantic relationships she has, which I like because I do enjoy when it's not clear who the female lead and the male lead is. Like, it's a bit more excitement in there. So I've heard there's good romantic tension throughout, which is a bit of me. Spirit Circle, most anticipated, and this is highly recommended. I think this one is a bit of an oddball because this guy, he gets pushed down the stairs by this girl and he gets transported back into the past, and I think it's got like reincarnation vibes, and I think when he's in the past he tries to find who this girl is. Correct me if I'm wrong here. It sounds very interesting. Studio Cabana. This was going to go in curious, but it's going in unhinged excitement after I read what this manga was about, because in my last manga video, someone commented and they were like, have you read Studio Cabana? Because no one really speaks about it. And then they did get someone comment saying they read it, but it made me be like, oh, this could be a good hidden gem. Then when I researched it, 2 delinquents. It is a delinquent's love story. And I have not read that before. I've always read it where there's only one delinquent. And I think she hears the guy singing and he's got a really angelic, beautiful voice. She falls for him, but I don't think he falls for her. So it's got unrequited love in there. And it sounds phenomenal. But apparently it is on hiatus though. The Girl from the Other Side. Wow, this is highly, highly recommended, but I am moving it to the most anticipated. Again, after I read more about what it was. And this is about this deity who gets banished, and he ends up just being this protector and companion for this young girl. And I don't think she has a good life. I think she might be shunned a bit from her family, but it's not like the normal life. I think there's like 2 different realms they walk between. I'm not 100% sure. It's got a very distinctive art style. I have not heard anything bad about this manga. This one reviewer was like, it is a hauntingly beautiful story. I mean, yes, I need it. The guy she was interested in wasn't a guy at all. This is in Most Anticipated again. And it is about this girl who falls for this guy because they start bonding over rock music. It speaks about gender and personal relationships. So I am really, really looking forward to reading that. But this next one, I'm gagging to read it. And this is the ice guy and his cool female colleague. This guy accidentally turns people and things to ice. That's his power. So I think he tries to keep himself to himself a little bit, but he falls for this girl in the office, and every time they have a conversation, there's like an ice storm that goes on. I am buzzing. If that doesn't sound like such a good manga, I don't know what does. Ooh, The Reign of Teardrops and Serenade. I'm curious. It's about a girl, a high school student. She gets transported back to 1907 and instantly she meets this guy, and it's about their relationship and her getting used to being back in that historical time. But I need to know the age gap. I've read that he's not that much older than her, like literally just out of school. So it's not too bad. But I wonder, is she ever going to get back? Is he going to go with her? It's giving me a bit of Outlander vibes where she's stuck back in time, but then she has to just live her life there. I need to know. Those Not So Sweet Boys, this is low priority. Don't get me wrong, it sounds good, but it's not wowing me. And it's about this girl wanting to find out more about these three guys because she thinks they're really nice because one of them gives her back her wallet when she dropped it. But actually, they're known as being a bit like bad boys, disruptive, etc. at school. So it's about one girl and three guys. We shall see. I don't think it's a reverse harem situation. I could be wrong. Like, I think there's a clear female and male lead, but could be wrong there. To Your Eternity, I am curious. This is a story that follows this immortal being throughout time in loads of different forms, I think. Again, it looks good, but it's just not high on my priority list right now. Tsubaki-chou, Lonely Planet. This is low priority. It looks good, but nothing special. But again, it is a younger girl, older guy situation. But the age gap isn't crazy. It's like high school and uni. Yeah, it looked okay. I am not going to be able to pronounce this next name. I can't find an English translation. And when I translate it to English, it is with every female mum, and I don't think that could be true. I didn't read any mums in the synopsis. So this is the manga and the manga name, and it's going in low priority. Again, it looks good. And it sounds very, very sweet. It's about these two friends. They prank each other throughout life and middle school. But then when they get to high school, he starts wanting to be taken more seriously from her. So he does things to earn her respect. Like, I think he's liking her a bit more. And it's about that. It sounds very cute. This one sounds steamy and good. And this is Twilight Out of Focus. And I am hella excited for this. And I have not read a dorm room situation manga yet, like where two people live in a dorm together. Like, same room, I swear. I don't know, I'm in England, so we don't have dorms here. We have student accommodation, but you have your own rooms. Whereas I think a dorm is you share the same room with someone. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is about two guys, a delinquent and a class president. And instantly in the first year, the class president finds out that he is a bit of a bad boy. Like, he cheats, he sleeps around, etc. So they decide to just keep themselves to themselves. But in the second year, they get pushed together because of a play. Like, I think they've both got to partake in this play. And I think they start to have feelings for each other. I need to read it now. So many I need to read now, so I'm stressed. Wake Up Sleeping Beauty. This is low priority. I'm looking forward to reading it, and I am curious. Maybe I should curious it. But it's about this guy who falls for this girl who has an illness where she keeps herself isolated and she can't be around many people. And I'm pretty sure they end up going out and he's on a mission to find out a cure, or he's just dealing with the fact that she is, I swear she's dying. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to upgrade this to curious. Yeah, it needs to be higher because it does sound good. Set in high school, etc. Welcome to Demon School. Again, this is another curious. This is definitely going to be the biggest column. But it's about this boy who sells his souls, you've only got one soul, but he sells his soul to demons, and then they put him in a demon school. But there's more to meets the eye, is that the saying? Like there's more to the guy than what all the demons expected. So I think he's a bit of a wild card. With the Sheikh in his harem, this is low priority. It's about a girl who gets propositioned to marry this powerful royal person, and I think her family are in big debt, so she agrees to do it, and it's about their relationship. Like it sounds okay, but again, no wowing at the moment, so it is on the bottom. Whereas this next one is high on top of the list, and it is Wotakoi, Love is Hard, Otaku. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but office romance, two gamer people, they decide to try going out because they've had failed relationships. I think because they are gamers and people think it's a bit weird. It didn't work for everyone else, it might work for us too because we're quite similar. And I think it follows their relationship. I am dying to watch the anime of this, but it's not dubbed yet. But that's not a big deal. Like I could watch it with subtitles on. I am tempted to. So I think that's why it's moved up in the priority list, because I need to know their story. Like this has been on my TBR for so long and I'm dying to know, because it's more of a relationship of convenience. But again, I think it will turn to something more. I love that trope. Right, your color on lip. I'm curious. And I don't know much more about this manga other than the fact that it's set in school. This is one where I've probably seen like one manga panel or one TikTok about it, and I've been like, oh, that sounds so good. So I've added it to my TBR. So if you know more about this manga, comment below. Boss Bride Days. This is highly recommended to me and I am excited to read it. And it's about this girl who saves this mafia gang leader, and he's like, to repay you, because you're so great, you're gonna marry one of my sons. And it's about the three sons competing for her affection. I hope she wants to marry one of these sons and it's not a forced marriage situation. But it sounds so intriguing. Sorry if the angle has changed, my phone died. So I had to quickly charge it, but we're back on it. We're nearly at the end here. So I know we left it on Boss Bride Days, and I really can't wait to get into the mafia genre. I have not read many, if not one, mafia book, so I'm intrigued to know more about that. Right, next we've got High School Debut, and this is giving me the Duff vibes. Like if you've watched that movie, it is hilarious, and this is giving me that because the girl, she doesn't feel like she's feminine enough, she can't get guys, so she asks a really popular guy to mentor her, and the guy's like, sure, I'll mentor you, but one rule, you can't fall in love with me. Sounds so good, but it's going in the highly recommended because it is. Behind the Supermarket, Smoking with You. This is going in most anticipated, possibly an unhinged excitement, because I feel like I'm missing out because it's just starting to make the rounds on my socials. Like it's been popping up on my TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, etc. And I am desperate to read it. Screw it. I'm putting it in unhinged excitement. I feel like I'm missing out. But it is an adult romance, which, as you can tell, I read a lot of school life, so I need to up my game with the adult romance. It's about this guy who is really down in his work life, but when he finishes work, he goes to this supermarket and he always goes to this certain cashier because she's really smiley, she's bubbly. But one day he goes behind the supermarket to have a cigarette and he finds her sitting there smoking as well, but she's completely different. She's not the bubbly woman that he sees while she's working, and I think it's about them. I mean, come on, that sounds so good. My Boyfriend in Orange. This has been highly recommended to me, but Again, I need to know about the age gap because it is a high school student. She's smoking on top of the school roof. I think she's a bit of a bad girl. And this firefighter goes up there to save her because the school's on fire. And it's about their romance. How old is this firefighter? Because she's in high school. She's got to be like 16. Ugh. If he's like mid-20s, I can't do it. I can't do it. Nina, the Starry bride, I'm on the fence about this one because I need to know whether she is forced into marrying this guy. Because what I've read is this girl, I think she's had a really bad life and she ends up getting sold to this guy. And then he's like, you deserve to be a princess. So then they get married. I've got a lot of question marks. Okay, this next one, I don't have the English translated name of this. And on Google Translate, it says after the Japanese presentation. It is an office place work romance, so that could be right. And I am quite curious because it's a 31-year-old woman who is a virgin and she ends up being in a relationship with her male subordinate. And I don't mind when the older woman is less experienced if it's done tactfully. And why I'm intrigued about it is because in the synopsis it's like, but there's more than meets the eye with the guy, like there's more to his story. So now I'm like intrigued, like what's his hidden secrets? What's going on with him? This next one, again, does not have an English title, but Google Translate says an irresistible Japanese love story. And I am so excited to read this. Again, it is a delinquent. I'm a sucker for the delinquent trope. What ends up happening, this guy, honor student, gets saved by this guy delinquent when he is being attacked by this other delinquent. So this honor student's like, there must be more that meets the eye to this delinquent because he just saved my life. It's about them. Set in high school, and by the look of the front cover, one of the guys is a blusher. And I love that. The story of our unlikely love. This is going in low priority purely because it sounds very copy-paste with a lot of mangas I've read. And the female lead, she is just a yes person. She can't say no. And she ends up meeting this guy who is the complete opposite of her. He's a right slacker. And she ends up being fascinated by him because she wants to be more like him. And it's about them. Like, there's nothing wrong with the story, it's just low on the reading list. The walls between us, okay. I am curious, but it could be an on the fence situation. This is about these childhood friends and this girl, she kind of wants a boyfriend, and her childhood friend's like, well, if you want a boyfriend so much, I'll be your boyfriend. But he's a bit big for his boots, and she rejects him. And then I think he takes offense to that. And so then he obsessively confesses to her and asks her out. And he sounds a bit of a red flag. And she's a bit like, no. There must be more to the story. There must be another guy involved. I'm not sure. But I'm intrigued. It can't just be that. And if they're childhood friends, like, it can't be that bad. But maybe he's not nice. I don't know what's going on. So I want to know. Tomo-chan is a girl. I am hella excited, but I can't find this manga anywhere. Please, I can't find English translated versions. I've just finished the anime and I'm obsessed with their story, and instantly, the day I finished it, I tried to find and read this. I couldn't find it. I'm dying to, because the story is phenomenal to me. It was a chef's kiss, and it's about this girl who, she just has tomboyish features, and her childhood friend just treats her like one of the guys, but she's in love with him. She's a freaking badass. I'm obsessed with her. Then we've got Veil. This is most anticipated. Wow, this story and art style, beautiful, beautiful. It's about this blind fashionista. Like, it's set in like a fashion world, like everyone's quite stylish, and she's blind, and it's about her falling in love with a police officer. It's about their love story. And last but not least, we've got Laya Satsuki Can See Death. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing her name right, but I am curious again. This is the potential to be promoted though, because I'm hella intrigued. I'm invested to know what the hell is going on, because she can see death 24 hours in advance. So she can see someone dying and she's hella honest. So she tells people, oh, you're gonna die in 24 hours. But then I think because she tells them, it doesn't happen. So she's known as the liar at school. But I think she ends up saving this boy and then her fate changes. I'm not sure. She's got like red eyes. I want to know about her. And I feel bad for her. Can you imagine seeing death? Like seeing everyone dying around you and then telling them and then people treating you like crap. That would suck. And there we have it. That is the 72 mangas on my TBR. And I'm pretty happy with the spread. I think it's pretty evenly divided out between the 5 tiers. Obviously, Curious is the most because we all add random different mangas to our TBR that we don't know much about. Please do let me know if any of these mangas are on your TBR. What are you looking forward to reading? Have you read any of these mangas? Because if you have, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know if you think I should promote or demote any of them. Like if you've read these and you're like, Ashley, what are you doing? That is the best manga I've ever read. You need to let me know, people, because this is just me going off of my own vibes. But I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.